There's a lot of fundamental last week, but the most important one last week was the US election, which Donald Trump won Kamala Harris. You get, and that's what we've been anticipating of, let's say, hoping for to happen in the market, because we've been anticipating another bull run in crypto market, which did not come for the last 4 years. And then for me, I believe after Trump wins, we should see a parabolic move. And if you check your BTC now, BTC is at $77,000. You get earlier earlier today. You understand? So which means that even in the financial market, we should see some positive changes in the financial market, in geopolitical environment in total, because of Trump policy. So now, as Trump win the election, becomes the 47th president of the United States after being the 45th president of the United States previously, what are we now looking for in the financial market? And as we said, anything that happened in the financial market, what we want to do is to take the opportunity, not to complain. Or even if you are a Kamala Harris supporters, what you want to do is just take the opportunity in the market and then make money. So not to dwell on what you can't change or what has already happened in the past. For me, I believe that we should see AUD weakness in January because of the tariff. You know Trump policy now. So you want to impose tariff on China goods, and if you impose tariff on China goods, it will affect their trading partner, which is Australia. Even in Europe too, there will be tariff on their export goods. You understand? So which are coming from Germany to the USA, which are coming from the Italy to the USA. You get, so we have some tariff there, and then this might actually affect the euro. You get the euro currency. It will affect the AUD currency. It will affect the SND currency, which means that in January, Donald Trump will be sworn in as the 47th president of the United States. And if he's sworn in, he's going to start work immediately. You understand? And number one person is planning to sack is the SEC chairman. That one is going. That is his first day in office. And I think Powell too is going. And there's a rumor that probably maybe they want to disband the Federal Reserve, calling it scam or stuff like that. And what does this mean for the US dollar? I believe that US dollar should continue their strength next week. We should see US dollar back to the 106 level with this euphoria news of Trump becoming the president of the United States. So we should see dollar still going probably to the upside. And gold, one of the reasons we should have gold weakness is because as Trump becomes the president, there should be minimize or a reduce in the level of uncertainty you get. So what is driving gold is the uncertainty level because of the war here and there, the Russia, Ukraine, the Israel and Palestine and stuff like that. But with Trump emerges as president, I think what it will call for now is peace in the Middle East, and he has hosted Zelensky now, and he said in the last interview with Zelensky that he has went through a lot, that what he's doing is he wants to actually resolve the war between Russia and Ukraine, and I think that's what he will do. So if you are just joining this channel, welcome to my YouTube channel. This is Ambafx, and this is where I bring you the latest insight in the world of forex market, the fundamental, the technical, and then the sentimental analysis. So do well to subscribe, like, and share, and don't forget to turn on the notification bell in case I drop a new video, so you'll be notified. So before we go to the individual currency on my watch list, because now I've told you that the DSY should continue the strength, continuing the upside move, and we should see DSY at 106.075 level next week. After taking out this eye, we should see probably maybe small retracement and a move back to this particular level. So that's what I'm actually looking at on the SY next week. And then if you now see that DSY come back to this area, probably this is where we should see the next parabolic move back to the upside. That is at 103,650. So if it go below this area, it means that there is going to be a retest of 103,650. So I believe that US dollar strength should continue next week. So before I go to the video currencies, let's check the economic activities we have next week. So Monday, which is the 11th of November, what we have on Monday is S&D inflation expectation news, as you can see, which is not something we should be worried about. On Tuesday, we have pounds client count change, and then we have some FOMC member speech on Tuesday. And remember, the Fed or the FOMC members will be very, very careful of their decision right now, since they have a new president, and then there will be a change in policy. So on Wednesday, the most crucial one we have this week is the inflation news on Wednesday. That is at the US CPI again, and then on Thursday we have the PPI from the US dollar. That's the inflation news we have on we have next week, and these are the most crucial one we have next week, the inflation news. And then on Thursday we have the AUD employment change, and then speech from Reserve Bank of Australian government. So later on Thursday we have Forex speech on Thursday. So there's Forex speech on Thursday, so just raise up for it. And then on Friday we have pounds GDP, we have US core retail sales. So this one too is an inflation news. So watch out for the inflation news in the US dollar next week. It will be very, very interesting, and probably you should see some volatility coming into the market right there. So we don't know, after this we might have US dollar weakness. After this inflation report, we don't know what might happen after the inflation report. But for me, I still believe that we should continue to see US dollar strength, and then this should have little no impacts. You get done the geopolitical news, that is the news of Trump winning the election, and then probably we should be seeing some adjustment. I don't dispute that, but this November I believe that the DSY should close as a bullish candle this November, this month. We might have a retracement back in December before another parabolic move in January, but it depends on the policy Trump's brings. That's why we might not say, okay, this is what we want to anticipate in January. But some of his policy has been known, and as you can see, any advantage you see probably in the cryptocurrency environment, just take it for now, because we are experiencing another wealth transfer. That's just the truth about it. In the next 4 years, we will experience another wealth transfer. So it now depends on how you position yourself. Probably maybe your life will change for good. So don't joke with financial market, don't joke with Forex, and don't joke with crypto too. So any crypto you see that has potential, just buy. This is just a piece of advice from me. Any coin you see that has potential, just put your money in, and then what you want to do is to buy and hold. You get, and then you want to sharpen your Forex skills very, very well, so that you can meet up with what is coming. You can meet up with the transfer of wealth that is coming. You don't want to miss the next 4 years. What will happen in the next 4 years for you to change your life for good? So any skills or anything you lay your hand on in trading for now, just learn it, backtest, and be better with it, because you are going to experience another parabolic move in the financial markets, not even crypto alone, in the stocks too. So there's some stock that you can just put your money in, and then you see it going parabolic. So that's that for now. This is the fundamental. So let's go back to the individual currencies on my watchlist. Probably the first pair on my watch list is gold. So going to the next week, what I want to do is to short gold. Probably I want to sell back to 2605, And then where I will enter is I'll wait for another move here that will invalidate this area and then close below it. Then I'll look for opportunity to sell back to 2605 because the level of uncertainty has reduced, and then some people might be selling their goods and to buy US dollar. You get to invest back in the US economy. As you know, Trump is a pro businessman, so they want to invest in the US economy, or probably want to invest in some US stock. And as you know, Nasdaq has created a new high. No, not Nasdaq, S&P 500. Yes, that's what I want to say. S&P 500 has created a new high last week. So which means that people might want to actually remove their money from gold and want to key into the US dollar or its stock. So probably this is what I'm actually waiting for in the gold. So I'm waiting for price to probably test this area, then invalidate it, and then probably close below it. Then we should see some move coming back to 2605. So on sell bias on gold in the next week, or do nothing. That's what I want to do. So I'm going to take my sell position from here back to this particular support level, and then we might see this place invalidated. But if you see these this week close, you'll see that let's take the weekly time frame. So this is the weekly candle close. So pardon, the network is very, very slow, so you might experience some. So which means that see this move right there. So it's somewhat slow, so just bear with me. So see how these are, this weekly candle close, and then see this one too. So there's a high probability that we might see price coming back to 2605. We have a high probability of price coming back to that particular area next week. So that's what I'm actually looking at for on gold going to the next. So next pair I want to check is the GBP US dollar. As you can see on the GBP US dollar, we have a lot of rejection at this area. So which means price invalidates this and then it rejects it. Then price failed to break to make a new high, not to talk of breaking it. And then we have price falling on Friday, coming back to that particular level. And don't forget that both the BOE and the Fed, they both cut rates by 25 basis points last week. And then what should be moving the US dollar now is not the data, but probably we are waiting for Wednesday for their inflation data. That is the CPI, on Thursday the PPI. But for me, I'm still on the opinion that probably we might see a retracement, and then which might not come to this high, and the price will come back here, and then will come back to 1.26722. So that is where I'm looking for price to go in the next couple of days. You get, so I'm looking for price to break this 1.28. It has tested twice, which has rejected at support level. But for now, I'm waiting for price to come back here and break it, and then we might see the real support level holding at this particular area, and then we'll see price start moving to the upside. So which means that or if this place did not hold, then we might see price start coming down, and then we'll see price breaking this low to the downside. And probably this might actually happen in January after the swearing in of Donald Trump, because this high right here has been invalidated. And then if you are on a bullish bias on GBP/USD, wait for this price to break this high back, to break 1.30428 or 30043 back. Then if it break this high, then we are back into the bullish movements around this area. But the more price still stay below 1.30043, then we should see price coming back to 1.26722 in the near time. So this is what I'm still looking at for now, probably, which might happen next week. We get all next couple of weeks, but I think this should happen next week because of the inflation report. We'll see a lot of volatility in the markets next week because of the fundamental activities involved. So that's what I'm actually looking at, a bearish bias on GBP USD. So it can only be a bullish bias if this 1.30043 break to the upside. We have a retest and then we have a rejection. So like, just go here, stick to what is happening around here. If you see that price break this to the upside, be ready to buy. And then if you see that price actually probably retest and not break this high, probably retest and reject at this area, be ready to sell back to 1.6722. If it's a break, then it will be back to 1.25002. So another one, the next one I want to check right here is Euro USD. On Friday, I was actually selling this particular pair on Friday. So I entered the sell around this particular area, and so probably what I'm actually looking at this week is to the downside, which means that this low might be taken out, and then you see price coming back to 1.05403. So I held this trade over the weekend. It's 1.3 risk to 1:3 risk to reward ratio. So which means that you must still see there's still a probability of price retracing back to this area, and then we might see probably seller coming in back to this area, and then we'll see price coming back to 1.05403. So there is a probability of a retracement probably around this area. Price might retrace back to this area, and then we'll see a rejection back to the downside. So what I'm looking at on Euro US dollar is to the downside going to the next week, and then I'm looking for price to settle down at this area. Though this area is a level of support, you can't ignore that level of support right here, in which price has not even hit that particular area. Here is a level of support, but I believe that support might break or might break. You get, so it means that this is the next level of support we are looking at right here. So let's see how price reacts to this here. So if you're in a bullish bias, just wait for price to come and break this back to the upside, do for just then you can actually do it. You can actually continue buying from that particular area. So which means that if price break through this area and then there is a retest, you can continue to buy to the upside. So that's my view on Euro US dollar going to the next week. So the next pair I want to, so if the US dollar, so what I'm actually expecting here, as you can see, price has invalidated this low right here, this support, and then there is a retest around that environment. So what I'm actually looking for is for price to probably maybe retest this area, form head and shoulder around this area, and then we can see a rejection which will break this low back to 0.64840. So any retracement you see around this area and then rejection you see here is an opportunity for you to sell back to 0.64840. If this level did not hold as support, then you can have another sell entry back to 0.63602, as one of the pair that will suffer this Trump government most is AUD US dollar. So probably should wait for a sell bias here or back to 0.6. And then if you are on a buy bias, what you have to do is wait for this place to be invalidated and for this item invalidated for it to enter a buy setup, and then your stop loss, you want to stay below that environment. So that's that about AUD USD. Next one we want to check here is SND US dollar. So the network is kind of slow. Let's see how it's bringing. So this SND US dollar. So what I want to do is basically what I want to do right here is to sell. You get, and then you see that price is ranging around this particular area. Even though it invalidates this low, go back, create new high at this area, still come back to this particular area. For me, I believe that any retracement is an opportunity for you to look for a bearish setup back to which will invalidate this low because it keeps creating a new low, and this might not be an exception, so which will create a new low back to 0.58710. so that's what I'm actually looking at. And then if you check the let's zoom this, you see that the most significant level you can think of is below, because this one has been invalidated. Price has invalidated this one, and probably we should be waiting for price to come back to 0.58710. So that's what I'm actually looking for. But this place looks rowdy somehow, it's choppy somehow. So what you want to do is you want to look for a retracement and a break below this area before you actually join the sell setup back to 0.58710. so that's that about as in the US dollar. So the next one we want to check right here is Euro AUD. So Euro AUD, I'm looking for a sell setup back to 1.60228. So probably we should see price rejecting at this particular area, and we should see price breaking this low and this low to coming back to 0.60228. and if you're on a bullish bias, you wait for price to break this 1.63143 to the upside for you to buy. But for me, I would like on Monday that price should break this area. Is a very, very good confirmation. But I mean, even though my bias is sell, but on Monday, if I see that price break this area, I'll be very, very happy. And if price dip above in the 4-hour time frame, I'll be looking for a buy setup. But if price still below this area and then we will see some rejection here, we're looking for a bearish rejection back to this area and then back to 1.60228, because this has been invalidated. So let's see how it goes right there. The next one is Australian dollar, Canadian dollar. For me, I'm looking for a bullish setup on Australian dollar, Canadian dollar. We have a break of this area. We have a rejection at this resistance level, which came back to retest the break of the trend line. And then this is a pattern on its own. So probably on Monday, if there is a multiple rejection to the upside here, then I'll be waiting for price to come back to this high. And then if this high break, then I'll be looking for price to come back to 0.93606. And then if you check the old directional bias, you see that it is to the upside, which means that price keeps rejecting and rejecting. So we want to look for a buy setup around this environment, or at worst this environment. These are this trend line. Well, if price now break through this to the downside, then I will be looking for a sell bias back to 0.90275. If that level break, then because this is a very, very strong support level, so if this level break, I'm looking for price to go up lower. You understand? But for now, I'm still looking at is a bullish bias. So I'm still waiting for some 4-hour candle to close here or to close here as a bullish bias. You get? So the next one is Canadian dollar, Japanese yen. This Canadian dollar, Japanese yen, what I'm actually looking for is a sell setup, but I think the is a buy setup probably, but the sell momentum is high. But for me, I still believe the price still go up because this high has been invalidated. You get? So price just did a retracement back to this particular area. So from this area, I might be looking for a fake breakout and breaking for price to come back, break this high, and then we might see price coming back to 112012. So that's what I'm actually looking at on Canadian dollar WI for a buy setup from this particular area. And if this area did not, we can wait for this area, probably maybe it will hold to the upside. But if this area break to the downside, then should be looking for a selling opportunity, not a buying opportunity again. On GBP SND, what I'm actually looking for is buy setup. So which means that this is where I'm looking for price to reject from, and then we might see a bullish bias back to 1.17747. But still wait for this to probably trend lower, and then wait for rejection at 215 So that's what I'm looking for on GBP USD. A buy bias, but this is where I want to buy from. This is my point of interest where I'm buying GBP SND. And the next one is US dollar CAD. And as you can see, the US dollar to Canadian dollar is seeing an uptrend, but for me, I'll be waiting for price to come back here, and this is where I want to buy US dollar CAD from back to 1.39772 next week. And then if this level break, you should be waiting for price to come down and break the 1.30703 to the downside. Probably we test and then we'll see price start going down. But for now, I still believe that we should see a retracement here and then a rejection that will push price back to 1.39772. So the last one we want to check today is GBP Australian dollar. So last week we saw this level break after they cut their interest rate. The Bank of England cut their interest rate by 25 basis points, and then on Friday we saw this rejection right there. So the rejection is in 4-hour time frame, but there are two things that will happen. This level is a very, very sensitive level. We don't want to joke with. So probably there's a probability that price will close above. So if price closes above, so we're looking for a buying opportunity that will break this and then break this level. But if price still stay below this, then we're looking for a selling opportunity that will break this, probably come back to this, then you might see a break. You might see a retest at this particular level as well. So guys, these are the pairs on my watch list for next week. So you just have to be very, very careful next week because of the fundamental, especially the week of CPI, and then most in recent time CPI tends to move markets than any other news, any other fundamental activities, and especially the US CPI and then the US PPI. So do well to subscribe, like and share, and there are links to verify broker in the description. Just click open and then register. So if you want to join my community, there is a link in the description, a link of the Telegram community. So I'll soon be putting the link of the WhatsApp community in the description box, so that it will be easy for us to communicate and chat, which I'm the admin of that group, so you can actually reach me out there. So, and there is also a link to a verified prop firm in the description. We have 3 prop firm that has 0 denied payout issue, so they don't deny your payout. So once you make your money, they will pay you as early as possible. So do well to register any of them. So you can even register all of them. It's not bad when you have 3 like 4 prop firm you are trading. Probably you have a live account on prop firm you are trading, so it means that you want to expand more. You get creating more source of income. So take care guys, see you next week, and don't forget to trade safely.